Top of the afternoon, all you lovely travel folk. So welcome. You are entering our third day of streaming of HAR's inaugural host week. We like to think of host week as like Shark Week, except for hosts. Chomp, 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 chomp. Actually, there's really nothing in common with Shark Week and host week, unless you consider the fact that they're both week-long programming dedicated to a specific topic. But there was no other way that I could talk about Shark Week in my welcome. And it's so much, who talks about Shark Week in their welcome? So if we have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, first of all, I'm sorry that this was the way you had to meet me. I've been in a basement by myself for the third day now talking to a screen. So I'm going a little bit crazy. But I am Steph and I am the founder of Host Agency Reviews, and I am your MC for the week. Now, the last few days, a lot of you have seen my struggle. And that struggle is that I live in Minnesota and it's the middle of January and the basements are very cold and I've been struggling to keep warm. And so I had on my heated socks yesterday, 2 long john layers and a sweater. Thought that was enough. It was not. I was still chilly. So today I've taken care of that. And this is not just a jacket, folks, because I know that's what you're thinking. It is a jacket, but there's more than that, and I'll show you what it is. The secret today, and that's keeping me so warm, is this is heated clothing. Let me show you. How do you know it's heated? Can you see that? It glows, and it doesn't just glow. I'm the person you want on your camping trip with my big battery pack, because not only does my jacket keep me warm and glow, but it also has a flashlight on the battery. So the reason I tell you all this is because I think it's important that you can feel comfortable knowing that you have a bionic woman as your MC, because that virtually guarantees you are going to have a ton of fun with me today. So what's on our agenda? Let's see. So first of all, we'll be hearing from Jackie Friedman, who will be speaking with us today in her capacity as a director at PATH, the Professional Association of Travel Hosts. And I know not all of you may be familiar with PATH because it's more of a host agency association. And if you're an advisor, which many of you are, you're probably thinking, why are you talking to me about a host agency association stuff? This is why. Here's the background. So on Monday, I gave a keynote speech. If you missed it, you can check out our playlist for Host Week 2021 on our YouTube channel. Lots of great figures on there about kind of the rise of the host agency. But one of the things that's also in there is I talk about the environment that PATH came to be in and what they came together to do in response. It was in response to some MLMs and some bankrupt host agencies. So I started becoming involved with PATH very early on in my career. I worked at a host agency before starting HAR, and that's where I became involved with PATH. I met so many great people. And one of the things I really, really loved about the PATH meetings was I learned so much about best practices, things like how to protect your travel agency from fraud. Now, as an advisor, you're thinking, okay, I don't really care about my host agency with fraud, but you definitely should. And here's the reason why. Because if your host agency gets hit with tens of thousands of dollars of fraud or $100,000 worth of fraud, they could go bankrupt, and guess what happens to your commissions? So it's incredibly important for your host agency to keep up to date on what these fraudsters are doing, because it's ever evolving. The other thing they do is the group kind of lobbies with suppliers to create very specific solutions that solve the problems that affect the IC and host agency community, because it can be very different than a traditional travel agency. And the last thing that is way less fun, but very important, is PATH keeps host agencies up to date on the latest state and federal regulations and how to make sure that they're up to code on everything. And again, very important for your host agency to be aware of all of this, because if they're classifying their independent contractors as independent contractors, but actually treating them as employees, if an audit comes around, there can be a lot of back taxes and fines that they have to pay, which could lead to bankruptcy and problems with your commissions. So that type of knowledge is incredibly valuable to host agencies of all sizes. And that's why I would encourage you, if you're a host agency on here that doesn't belong to PATH or hasn't attended their annual meeting, to check it out. Their website is path4hosts.com. And they do, last I heard, have restrictions on the size of host agencies. So you must have more than 50 members to be a member, or 50 agents to be a member, but you can attend, and I believe this is true, their annual symposium, even if you aren't a member. So I think, let's see, I think we have some PATH members that are in the comments. So if you can help me out and kind of confirm or deny what I'm saying in the comments, that would be helpful. But if you're a hosted advisor listening to this, now that you see the bigger picture on how PATH plays into your success, if you're shopping around for a host, ask if they belong to PATH or if they've attended or plan to attend one of their symposiums. And if they haven't attended or don't know about it, which may be possible with smaller hosts, and that's okay, but encourage them to attend and let them know that that's something that you would expect and hoped your host agency would do. So Jackie's keynote is going to be coming up soon, and she's going to chat more about hosted advisors and why you are the future of the travel agency distribution channel. After our keynote, it looks like we have a very exciting thing. It's a giveaway. One lucky host agency will win an advertising package for a year with HAR. And if you are not familiar with HAR's business model, it's a freemium model. So all host agencies are listed for free on the site. And the way that we make money is when they choose to upgrade for more exposure. So all of the wonderful, if you've been on the site, you know that we offer everything for free. We don't charge for anything. And we're able to do that because of our generous sponsors and advertisers. So I'm so excited to do like a little magic wheel spinny thing and to chat with our winners. So we'll do that after Jackie's keynote. And then back for yet another day is our popular Get to Know a Host segment. That starts at 12:45 Central Time. So go ahead and set your alarms so you don't miss out on today. We have outside agents, we have incentive connection travel, we have Uniglobe Travel Center, and then we have Independent by Flight Center, which is a Canadian agency. And last but not least, we have our quick and mighty Supplier Love segment. And that's pretty much where you get your warm fuzzies for the day. So we have Delta, Vacations, AIG, and Trafalgar ready to send some sunshine your way. So don't go away. There's loads more to come. In a few minutes, Jackie will be on to give her keynote speech, and we'll take off from there. Talk to you soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Jackie Friedman, President of Nexion Travel Group. Today I'm speaking to you on behalf of PATH, the Professional Association of Travel Hosts. This is the industry's only association focused solely on host agencies, how we work together, and how we communicate and collaborate with suppliers to ensure that our advisors are well taken care of. It is a great example of competitors collaborating for the best interest of the industry. One thing that we all have in common is that we are big believers that the right decision for independent advisors is to affiliate with a host agency or a home-based franchise. And hopefully over the next few minutes, we will give you some of the things to consider as you determine what is best for you. Most important, however, is to do your homework. Understand what your priorities are so that you can find the host agency that's the best fit for your business. A host agency can be a great resource for advisors of all experience levels. Many of you likely work on your own from home, but you don't have to go at it alone. Host agencies will sit behind the scenes, making you look great in front of your customers. Some of the benefits that may be important to you include having access to top-tier commissions. Think about it. Most host agencies have sales volumes that are high enough that you would get access to the highest commissions based on the aggregate sales of all of the advisors in their network. What that means to you is that regardless of your commission split or monthly fee, you likely could earn more money with many of the suppliers that you sell. Second, access to technology that can help you operate your business more effectively and efficiently. Third, there are marketing programs out there to help you acquire new customers as well as stay front and center with your existing customers. Then there's business development and education programs, training for you regardless of where you may be in your career. Many host agencies have live conferences or events where you can network and get in front of other advisors as well as your supplier partners. And finally, speaking of supplier partners, those relationships may open doors for you because of the executive presence that many host agencies can give you. So these are just a few of the benefits, but the important thing is to determine what's important to you and find the right fit for your business. Host and travel advisors play two primary roles with their business. They are both frontline travel advisor as well as business owner. And that combination is coveted by many suppliers. They want to work with you to help you grow your business, and by being part of a host, it is easier for them to find you. Second, you are entrepreneurs and you connect with your customers in meaningful ways. A lot of the conversations you're having now are further developing the relationship. You may not be actively selling travel, but make no mistake, the time that you're investing right now being resources for your customers are the best investment that you can be making in the future of your business. And third is really that as independent contractors, you are free to supplement your income by doing other things. And in the current environment that we are all operating in, many hosted advisors can take their entrepreneurial skills and supplement with other business opportunities. Some make masks or sell different crafts or products. It gives you that flexibility to work where you want, when you want, and how you want. And it is the future of our industry. I truly believe that advisors affiliated with a host agency or a home-based travel franchise are best positioned to come out of this crisis. There's really several reasons for my belief. First, so many host agencies are focused on business recovery. of getting the materials and resources to help your clients start dreaming about travel again and getting relevant offers in front of them. Second, hosted agents are already working from home in most cases, so you've taken so much of the expense out of operating your business. Third, our supplier partners are prepared to invest in organizations that have proven backgrounds in delivering increased sales to them. So you would likely have access to more marketing than you might have if you were working on your own. And fourth, just the variety of business development and education out there to help you bring that business back is so key. And I guess the final part is a host agency is like a community or a family. And the advisors that you work alongside with are there to help you and to support you and to encourage you. And there is so much value in that. Hosted travel advisors will play such an important role as our industry works together towards business recovery. Face it, many of you are independent contractors. That means that you have the flexibility to operate your business where you want, when you want, and how you want. Some of you have already started getting out there and traveling again. Others who may not be ready yet will do so in the near future. When you do, share your story with your customers. Let them know what the experience is like at the airport, in destination, at the resorts, or on cruise ships when they open up again. Your honest assessments can be an important part of your customer's ultimate decision of when they feel ready to start traveling again. The most important thing is that you want to stay positive. Focus the fact that the time that you're spending now connecting with your customers and preparing your business for recovery is such an important investment in your future success. Put on your business owner hat and prepare yourself. Take advantage of this downtime that you might have now, because when the world starts opening up, that demand will be there. And I look forward to being alongside with all of you as we work towards successful recovery together. On behalf of the PATH member host agencies, I encourage all of you to strongly consider affiliating with a host agency, now more than ever. You can check out our website at www.path4hosts.com for a lot of great information. Also, hostagencyreviews.com has great insight and member reviews on all of our host agencies. As I said earlier, doing your homework is so important, but I am confident that one of us will be just the right fit for you. Good luck.
I don't want to be dramatic because I'm never dramatic, but this is the segment that I've been waiting my entire life for. By the way, I know I was really excited about my heated jacket, but it turns out it starts to get really, really hot after a while. So, but so excited about this segment because I love those spinny wheels where you spin them when you win the prize. But this time I get to do it electronically while live streaming. Does it get any better than that? And the answer is yes, it does, because it gets better for the host agency that wins the advertising package. So what's all this drawing about? You all know that HAR loves to make great content and to provide it for free to the advisor community. It's totally our jam, but we do have payroll, so we have to make money somewhere. And 95% of our revenue comes from our supplier and our host advertising partners. So we're so appreciative of them and that they value what we do and support our work so that we can continue to keep writing and dreaming up big things and providing free resources to you. So this year, as part of Host Week, we put together a contest for hosts. They could do certain tasks on their profiles that kind of help them become more engaging for readers, and then they were entered into our drawing. So I'm just too excited, and I know we're on a crunched on time. So let's go ahead and spin this little wheelie thingy so I can ring the winner. Let me just switch screens really quickly so you can see this big winner. Big winner, no, big spinner for the winner. All right, here we go. It's Kinship Vacations. Yay. Let's give her a call and tell her the good news. Well, hey, Ashley, how you doing?
Hi, good. It's good to see you.
Yes, how's life with the kiddos?
Well, like all moms out there, tiring, and I got a first grader who's still schooling from home, and I have an 8-month-old. So between no sleep at night and craziness in the day, it's like I feel like I'm hanging by a thread.
Poor thing.
Amazing. I brushed my hair for our
I know. I did my hair for you too.
Oh, thank you. I feel special.
You should, because honestly, it's only happened a few times this year.
Same.
Well, so I have a confession to make, and maybe you've already guessed this. I just did the drawing for the Comfort Class giveaway package with this really fun spinny wheel, and you won.
Yay!
Yay!
You.
You're like the luckiest woman ever. You won the ASTA award. Was it last year or the year before?
It was. Did they even do it in 2020? I did it. I got it in 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't even know what year it is. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I know you recently won it. And I'm just like, when your name popped up, I was like, this woman is like the luckiest woman on earth.
I am pretty lucky.
I never win any other drawings I enter. So
oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, so April's going to reach out shortly to kind of schedule a formal get to know your host interview with you. But I thought when I had you on here in this little segment, we could kind of also ask you some more questions. So would you mind if we did that?
Sure.
All right. So, well, let's start with the big one. How long have you been in travel and what kind of made you get started?
So I've been in travel since 2014. I actually started working at Carnival Corporation, the corporate headquarters for all of their 10 branches or brands below, in competitive intelligence. I started that program up for them where I kind of looked at the full cruise industry as well as any type of potential competitors to Carnival, which, if you don't know, they own 50% of the world's cruise ship capacity. So basically everybody's their competitor. So I got to know the travel industry really well. And the way I got into that job was I was a military intelligence officer and I had just gotten an MBA. So I sort of combined both of those skills and started their competitive intelligence program. And I was
like a spy.
we don't call it spy because that's not okay. But yeah. No, it was a really cool experience, really interesting. And while I was there for a few years, I learned I had learned that travel agents were still very much a thing. Before that, I didn't really know. I had always sort of scraped together my own itineraries. I was always a lifelong traveler myself. And as a military spouse, my husband moves every 2 to 3 years for work, and it's really hard to maintain a professional career because, number one, sometimes you move like places in the middle of nowhere and there's just not the right kind of job for your specialty. And number two, as you know, if you move a lot, it causes disruption in your career progression. So when we were getting ready to move, I decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own travel business. I'm going to become a travel agent, and started looking into it, ran into the Global Institute for Travel Entrepreneurs and the Gift to Travel Network. And that's how I launched my agency, Kinship Vacations, in 2016 with them. And last year officially went independent. So we are an independent host agency. Well, as of, last year, I don't even know what year it is either, 2019.
So confusing.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that was a long story, but yeah, so
that's super interesting.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, because I used to live in Southern California, is like one of the bases in like 10,000 Palms or something, like out in the middle of the desert?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I drove through there, and that is like truly in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
No job prospects anywhere.
Yeah. And my husband's Army, and most of the time we're in the middle of nowhere because they need big, wide open spaces to shoot the guns and the tanks and stuff. So it's like, that's why we're in the middle of nowhere. We need space. So yeah, it's tough, but it's worked out really well to have my control over my own career this way.
Yes, that's fantastic. My sister Bridget's husband is in the Navy, and I had no idea about the challenges that spouses, people in the military had with all the moving. But it became very clear to me right away. I was like, man, that's incredibly hard.
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
Yeah. Well, so what branch of the military were you in, and for how long?
I was Army. I was mostly in the National Guard Reserve component, but I did spend some time on active duty. That's where I met my husband, in Afghanistan. It's a super romantic location for you romance travel specialists.
Highly recommend.
Just joking. I joined in 2002 right out of high school, and I officially resigned my commission in 2014 when I started working at Carnival. So almost a decade, or over a decade, I guess, technically, of time in the Army.
Yeah, well, thank you and your husband so much for your service. It's greatly appreciated. I know you put a lot on the line for it.
I appreciate your support. Thanks.
So the other question I have is the name Kinship Vacations for your agency. It seems like there might be a story behind it, as well as the logo, the like design of the logo, which Mary, if you're on, in the comments, can you put a link to Kinship Vacations profile so people can check out the logo and also read reviews if they want it?
Yay. Yeah. Yeah, there is a story. So when I first started a travel agency, my sort of idea behind my niche when I was a solo travel agent was that, to me, the most important part of travel experiences are the connections that you make, whether it's with your your husband, your spouse, your children, whoever. What I always remember, my fondest memories of travel, are those strengthenings of bonds and relationships that occur. And so I wanted to sort of specialize in experiential travel experiences that bring people closer together in their relationships. And so Kinship is the name that makes sense to me. And it's cool because it's sort of evolved in its meaning and its utility, because since we've, grown as a host agency, I believe that our small but mighty host agency is very connected and collaborative, and we have a kinship among travel agents, and we're always trying to reach out to the community. We have scholarships for military spouses and veterans, and we've also increased our scholarship offerings to a diversity scholarship so that we can get more diversity and inclusion in our agency. So we really want to encourage kinship and community. And then the logo is just, I love trees. And I started kind of looking up the symbology of trees. And, you know, the tree is sort of like a symbol of Mother Earth and how she takes care of the community, and sort of the over, I don't know. I'm not very articulate today. I'm a tired mom, but
that is okay. Like I looked at it and I was like, that looks like the tree of life. And like, that's kind of what I was thinking. So
yeah, exactly. The tree of life, the root sort of sustain us, and then the branches shelter us. So it was very kind of touchy-feely, I guess, if you will.
I heard it.
No.
Well, we're going to have to wrap up this section because we need to move into our next get to know a host section. But for those that are interested, that are on right now, that are actually wanting to learn more about Kinship Vacations program, you can join us for tomorrow's Get to Know Your Host section. April and Ashley will be doing a recording sometime before then. But Ashley, thank you so much and congratulations again.
I'm really excited about this. I appreciate it.
We're so excited to work with you too. Hello there, Steph back in the house. If you're just tuning in, Host Week is a celebration of hosted advisors in the industry that supports them. Every day, we have a stellar lineup of host agencies for this segment that you've landed in right now. This is our Get to Know a Host segment. So here's what happens. Our very own April Oliveira asks the host, every single host, the exact same set of questions, and she pulls out their deepest, darkest secrets. So things like, are you ready? What movie do you think best represents your company culture? Some of those questions are pretty pressing. So some of those questions are less traditional and some are focused on highlighting the important aspects of a host agency program. But one of the coolest things about Host Week, and to be clear, there are a lot of cool things about Host Week. So one of the coolest things is that host agencies and other industry partners, places like ASTA, the Travel Institute, MAST, which is a consortium, and Travify, which is a tech provider, they're all offering specials exclusive to attendees of Host Week. If you're interested in seeing those, you can find a complete list of the Host Week specials on HAR's blog. Now, yesterday during this segment, we had a blast of a time in the comments. During this section, I want you to not be afraid to chime in and say hi. That's what makes this so much fun. And if you're looking for a host agency and are feeling super overwhelmed, you are definitely not alone. So if you're sitting there being like, oh, I don't want to comment, do not worry. This is how everyone feels. So drop a line in the comments, letting people know where you're at, and you'll be surprised at how many people are out there to help you out on your journey, including the whole team at HAR here. So with that over, let's kind of go over who this star-studded cast is for today. Let's see. We have Chad Burt, the owner, well, co-owner with Steve of the Florida-based host agency Outside Agents. Then we have Robert Simon, the president of Incentive Connection Travel and Ensemble Agency. From there, we move over to Summer Corbett, the director of sales and marketing at Uniglobe Travel Center. And to wrap up the segment, we have Heather Baker, our first Canadian host so far that we've interviewed. She is with Independent by Flight Center, which is the sister company to the US-based Independent by Liberty Travel. So I am ready to get this party started. Are you? All right, Mayor, let's go ahead. Have you dropped the link for our first interviews profile? That's Outside Agents. And then April, it is with great enthusiasm and expectation that I pass this over to you.
Hi, April from Host Agency Reviews here, and I am with Chad Burt, co-owner of Outside Agents. Hello, Chad. How are you?
I'm doing well, April. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy New Year. Good to
Happy
see
New
you. So let's jump right into it. We got some fun questions. We have some COVID questions, of course, and we want to learn all about your agency. So let's get right to it.
Sure.
I love this question. It's been a great one for everyone. I love hearing these answers. So what movie or TV show best describes your company culture and why?
All right, first of all, I got to tell you, I love this question too. It's probably, I've done a lot of interviews in my life, and this is probably one of my favorite questions ever. So it kind of tells the story without asking the question directly. So I went and I polled my entire crew, and it was very affirmational. I'll be brutally honest with you, because I expected it to be a little different. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, a lot of my staff, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They really have embraced the culture. I don't know if they embraced the culture so much as they were ready for the culture to begin with. But we got a few great answers. I think the two, my two favorite were probably from my business partner, Steve. Mm-hmm. If you ever had a business partner, it's love and hate. You know, you got to be there for each other through thick and thin, right? You know, and he said friends, because, you know, we're all a little weird, but we're always in there together, no matter what. And the other answer I thought was pretty telling was MASH, and that's dating us. I know, a little over 21, but you know, we're kind of a ragtag fugitive fleet, you know, motley crew, and the only thing we really care about is getting things done the right way, doing the right thing for people, and you know, we get it done with heart, and our culture is based on heart, and I think people with heart do good things and get things done well, and it's worked out incredibly well for us over the years. So, you know, heart, remembering that we're in this together, and April, I'll extend that to my agent partners. I don't care if you sell $1 million a year or $1 a year. We're here to help people out. At the end of the day, this is about people. the money will follow. MASH and friends. And I'll throw in all in the family. I think I'm Archie. So anyway.
I don't think you're that grumpy.
No, you should see me on a Monday morning.
That's excusable. It's a Monday morning.
Right.
No, I love those. I love those shows. Especially exactly what you said. I mean, no matter what, thick or thin, they're all there for each other. So that's amazing. It sounds great.
Absolutely.
So what makes your company unique?
I'm going to stick with that kind of theme. Since Dave, okay, so I got to just real quick tell you a little bit about the history of the company. Steve and I started this with our lunch money. Okay, literally. And so we've been on the phone with agents since day one. Okay, so to this day, every single agent of ours, over 5,000 now, over 6,000 pre-COVID, has our personal cell phone numbers. And that's important to agents for two reasons. One, you have your business partner's cell phone, right? If my wife wouldn't give me her cell phone number, I'd probably have a problem with that. A business partner is a very serious relationship. You need to be able to communicate. Two, it tells you that we're doing a pretty decent job because everybody's got my cell phone, right? If we're not doing a very good job, my cell phone would be blowing up right now and I'd be having to excuse myself from this interview. So for us, it's about people. Everybody says that. We believe it. At the end of the day, we have a saying inside. I'm going to kind of share it with everybody. Every so often you hear Steve and I say, hey, give so-and-so a call. They need a hug. Literally. They might be frustrated. They might be angry. They might be upset. They might be whatever it is. But we're there to be with them, you know, in the entirety of the situation. We share their frustration. We share their feelings about a situation, and we make them our own, and we act accordingly. So what makes us unique is kind of the best of both worlds thing, April. You get the power of the first or second largest host in America and the personal touch of, you know, personal, actual people who care about what you're doing. So anytime I can get the best of both worlds, I try to go with that.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. Especially the cell phone part. That, I mean, you just don't see that in large companies. So what a great thing to do for your employees. That's amazing.
It's fun.
Yeah. So going along with travel agents, what 3 words describe the travel agent that's best suited for your company, and why those 3 words?
All right, I'm going to stick with this people thing. What I look for, okay, I'll kind of expose a secret for you here real quick. Host agencies love agents that come over with, you know, multi-million-dollar books of business. I'll take that all day long. Don't ever get me wrong on that. If you have $1 million worth of business, give me a call. Okay. If you have $1 worth of business, give me a call. If you hope to have $1 worth of business, give me a call. What I'm looking for is energy, engagement, and enthusiasm. Okay, energy, right? You know, I'm not talking about you go. That's enthusiasm. Energy, like a good vibe to you, right? You know, a personable person, somebody who's empathetic, who's got that energy that people can connect with. Engaged. Look, starting a business is not easy. Okay, it takes work. If you're not engaged, you're not going to succeed. If you want me to show you how to leverage the power of the internet so you can make money in your sleep, you're probably coming to the wrong country or company. Okay, so that engagement, you got to dig in. That's why we've focused in so hard on our education and mentoring programs. We have the most awarded educational program in the industry today. Why? Because that's how you take that engagement and you fuel entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have a very unique way of looking at things. Okay, they don't look at what, you know, to be told what to do next. They want to know how to find out what to do next. Okay, they think for themselves. So that energy and that engagement, when you combine those two things, you fuel that entrepreneur. You empower that entrepreneur. So those 3 words tell me that I'm probably talking to the right person. When I'm talking to agents on the phone, I find that I don't know, somebody who's new to the industry with a lot of enthusiasm, really engaged, a lot of energy, they've got just as good a chance of being a rock star as somebody with 20 years experience. So we give them all the same amount of time, energy, and effort as anybody else. Okay, we kind of treat everybody the same. So at the end of the day, energy, engagement, enthusiasm. After that, we can help you out with everything.
I love that. Those are great words. So overall, what role do you anticipate hosted agents playing on the ongoing recovery due to COVID?
I am excited about this question. Okay. I believe that independent contractors, home-based agents, are going to be the driving force behind the recovery. Why? Because they have the opportunity to develop personal relationships with their clients. They have the opportunity to sit down and talk to people. Think about it this way. When a crisis happens, when something big happens, right? You don't want to look out there and talk to 100, military or cops or something like that. You want one person to come over and pat you on the shoulder and say, it's going to be okay, come this way. Okay. Those independent agents are going to be able to give their clients that hug they need, that confidence they need, that solace they need, that steady ground they need, so that client can start to make those decisions for themselves as to when to travel, how to travel, what kind of risks they're willing to take, and so on. I believe that the nimbleness, the flexibility, the energy, the engagement, the entrepreneurialism of independent contractors will be a key driving force. Look, I'm going to just put it out on the table. I would suggest that many of us are saturated with mass media at this point. We've heard a lot of stuff from different sources, right? I believe that, and most of the industry has seen this as well, both fact, in the aggregate and anecdotally, that trust is going to be a driving force here. And I think consumers want that one-on-one connection with somebody who can hold their hand, give them that hug, and lead them on into the light, so to speak. So I think hosted agents will need to double down on what they've been doing, on what they are doing, and what they're going to do. I think bringing that energy to the table and letting people feel that you're there to help them out is going to be critical to the recovery of this. And I'm going to tell you this, vendors are chomping at the bit talking to host agencies, because I think they realize that they can drop multi-million-dollar TV ads all they want, and it's going to be a little bit more noise in the background for a lot of consumers. Whereas somebody coming to you and saying, April, I think we can get this done for you. I think this Mexico trip's going to work out for you. Here's why. Here are your options. I think it's going to make you feel a lot better and thereby become more willing to travel again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love that word trust, because that really is what it's about, especially right now at this time in our lives and at this stage in the game. It really is about trusting the person and their knowledge. So I love that word. I'm really happy that you used that. So what pivots have you taken since COVID, and how has it shaped your vision for this year?
I love this word pivot. It was integral to our analysis of what we were going to do as this thing began to unfold. I used the word pivot in a sentence, and my business partner Steve and my CTO took exception to that word. I think they took it to mean change everything that you're doing and step onto a different set of tracks. That is the wrong thing to do in a crisis. That's the wrong thing to do in an emergency. And that's not what I was saying. I meant it more like football. And by the way, you can tell by looking at me, I don't play a whole lot of football. But a pivot is when you take what you're doing, you jog a little left and you jog a little right to get around an obstacle. Okay, I think, Steve, the word is button hook or a juke or something like that. But the idea is you are who you are. Don't change that. It's been working. Okay. Add to it. Change your direction a little bit. Take that inertia that you already had and just move in a slightly different direction and jog back. So, for example, when all this happened, a lot of our competitors were cutting staff, cutting salaries, cutting back on a lot of things. And what we did was made a commitment to not cut anybody from our staff, not cut a single salary, not change bonuses, not change anything like that. And we're still committed to that. Right? People, you got to take care of your people first. And we extended that. First thing we did was gave everybody, all of our agents, a bonus commission. Gave them a little bit of extra money so that they could sock it away, invest it, do what they needed to do to keep their business floating. So was that a pivot? Yeah. We generally don't say, hey, here's extra money, right? But it was the right thing to do at the right time. Kind of continuing with that, we kept on doubling down on things we were already doing, but adapting them to the new environment. So, as we pressed forward, like I said, we already have the industry's leading educational program online. We just kept on expanding that. We didn't advise agents to change their business to be a COVID business. We said, hey, you're still a travel agency. Okay. It's just COVID is just another element of what you're already doing. Come on, it's like norovirus. Okay. I'm not trying to compare medically. I'm saying it's one of those considerations that you have to make when you're advising clients. And one of the things I did, I think in an interview with you guys, it might have been the vodka interview, I don't know, was, kind of explain to people that change is good. Okay. But what you were doing already is important. Okay. So don't throw everything out the window. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And just shape what you're doing. So in terms of pivots that we've made, they haven't been 180-degree turns. They've just been course adjustments. Okay. We've been doing this a long, long time and we're pretty good at it. So there's no reason to reinvent the house. That having been said, as we move into 2021, we're bringing in more virtualized experiences. We're bringing in a lot more one-on-one engagements. Steve, my business partner, and I, we've started doing what I call micro Zooms. We get together with 10 or 20 agents a few days a week. And neighbor, we just shoot the breeze. What's on your mind? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Try to get that temperature and let everybody talk to everybody. At the end of the day, this is about people. Okay, there's this thing, COVID, it's whatever. It's the problem. And the people are dealing with that problem. And so we're trying to bring people together so that they can do it together. I don't know about you, but when I'm in an emergency situation, I don't want to be there alone. I want to be there with people that, I don't know, can feel me, can empathize with me. And that, I think, empowers people to move forward. So the big pivot is, to me, is just doubling down on being you, being real, and being out there in front of people. I think one of the worst things I've seen in the industry since this happened is agents go quiet. They're afraid they might offend somebody, and they're afraid they might hurt somebody's feeling. Folks, if you're watching this, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, get out there with whatever messaging you can. Okay, be affirmational. Just post pictures of some beach stuff, right? Just lighten it up a little bit. But whatever you do, don't go quiet. If you go quiet, somebody will slide in there and take your place. And if the clients out there can't see that there's local, personal, individual people out there who can win their trust, deserve their trust, and deliver on their trust, then we're going to have a problem. So whatever you do, don't go quiet. Okay, stay out there, stay in front of your people.
I like that. I like that message. I do want to go back to the vodka, so people aren't like, "What are they talking about?"
Okay.
Just to let everybody know, it's not that bad because Chad has not broken open the vodka.
It's coffee.
I will let the one behind him. I will let Chad actually tell the story because I don't want people to be like, "Why are they having vodka meetings?"
Okay. I gotta show you. Hold on. So my mom had a travel agency back in the day. She started one for the same reason that a lot of hosts or a lot of agents start them today. Okay? My dad was a cop, didn't make a whole lot of money, but as a travel agent, we could go on vacation. So she eventually fell in love with the industry and started her own agency. And my gramps gave her a bottle of vodka. And he said, in an emergency, crack this thing open. Well, my mom retired. She's cleaning out her desk. She said, son, this is yours. It's really bad. Crack that thing open and administer it. Kind of like medicine, right? Folks, I want you to notice, and this thing's been around since the 80s. See that paper on top? It ain't been touched. Okay. I'm only going to crack this thing in an extreme emergency, something that's so bad that I need this. I haven't opened it yet. So
there's still hope. I like that.
It's proud. Now, what I have managed to do is drill a very tiny hole in the top. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't think this is an insurmountable situation yet. I haven't seen one in my career. Everything can be addressed. Everything can be gotten through as long as you stand up and you move forward.
Absolutely. So last, would you like to elaborate on any specials you're offering during Host Week?
Sure. So first, we're offering a consultation with Steve and or I, business development, whether or not you sign up with us. I'd just like to talk to you a little bit. I've been doing this for a couple of decades, starting to get the hang of it. Might be able to give you some ideas. I'd like to, see what we can do to flesh out your current business plan. And we can do that, to whatever degree you'd like. But again, we do this with our agents already. They have our cell phones. We're already doing it. I just would like to offer you some more time and just kind of do a deep dive. Second thing we're doing is if you do sign up, we'd like to bring you out to one of our live training events. We have an extremely successful on-site training program. Again, this is about people. So we do great training. It is not easy. It's 8 hours a day of hard work. But we do focus in on building those connections, right? The people in it. So we do a lot of collaborative type of training. We do a lot of interactive type of training, workshop style stuff. So you guys get to know each other and meet your peers. Normally it's like $200. April, we don't try to make money in our live trainings at all. The $200 covers lunch, some transportation, and things like that. Okay, so it's not a profit center. But you'd like to host somebody, come on out and see what we're about. You get to meet the crew, you get to meet your fellow agents, you get a lot of great information. And all of our trainers are the subject matter experts that created the other training, digital and online, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like meeting the professor. We bring in, for technology, the actual developers who built the technology. With marketing, the people who did the actual campaign. So it's not somebody who overheard or read up on something and then is regurgitating it. It's the actual person that actually did it. So our training is very insightful, and to the entrepreneur, they go crazy because they get to see not only the information itself, but why that information is so important. So we have the free attendance and then the one-on-one business development consultations.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, what a great thing, and especially for people to get to know you personally before even taking that next step. So that's a great deal. Thank you so much for offering that.
Absolutely.
And well, thank you so much for being here. This is so much fun as always. I love speaking with you.
I talk to you too. I always have fun. Tell Steph hi, by the way.
I will do. And yeah, Host Week 2021 will be continuing. So thank you so much, and Happy New Year, Chad.
Happy New Year. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye.
Chad, so great to see you through April. We're like 1 degree connection missing each other. So I am so glad to see that your vodka bottle is still sealed up. I was wondering about that. Keep that, because for the upcoming zombie apocalypse, you're going to need that. All right, we're going to move into our next host. April is going to be talking with Robert from Incentive Connection Travel. April, are you ready? Let's do this.
Hi, April from Host Agency Reviews here, and we're celebrating Host Week 2021. I'm sitting with Robert Simon, President from Incentive Connection Travel. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, April?
I'm doing well, thank you. So
Good.
excited to have you.
Thank you.
So let's jump right into some questions.
Okay.
First question's a fun one. Everybody likes this question. So what movie or TV show best describes your company culture and why?
So do you remember the show All in the Family?
I do. I love that show.
I used to love that show as well. It's not necessarily the premise of the show that fits our company, but it's the name, All in the Family. We pride ourselves on being family owned and operated for almost 30 years. And as a matter of fact, next year will be our 30th year. On that same note, we consider our agents to be part of the family. We even call our conventions the ICT Family Reunion. Even though our agents may be independent contractors, they're all over the country, different interests and talents. They work as a family to teach each other the best practices and to help resolve problems.
I love that. I love the All in the Family, and congratulations, almost 30 years. That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
So kind of rolling right into the next question, what makes your company unique?
I would say what makes us unique is our commitment to our agents. When an agent calls or emails our office, it's an owner that responds to their questions. It's not a phone bank. We have dedicated personal service that extends well past our regular business hours. Often our new agents are surprised when we're responding on weekends, evenings, and holidays, even though they know we're closed. We've been doing this long enough to know that travel is oftentimes sensitive, and issues with clients don't take a break because we're out of the office, and we try to respect that. We've been doing this for 2 generations now, so it's in our blood. We have that personal connection with our agents that makes us unique. Sometimes we know our agents so well, we can recognize their voices before they introduce themselves on the phones to us.
That's amazing. I love, I mean, you normally don't see owners picking up the phones and responding and so on. So that's great that you have that connection with your agents.
Thank you.
So, speaking about agents, what 3 words would best describe your ideal agent for your company, and why those 3 words?
Well, I would say that the 3 words that best describe an ICT agent would be enterprising, caring, and resilient.
Mm.
An agent who is enterprising is not afraid to think outside the box, and they would have a home here at ICT. They would be an independent thinker, and they would also have a home here at ICT. And most of all, those who have high customer satisfaction requirements would have a home here at ICT. Our intention is to make you as profitable as fast as possible. And for this reason, we do not charge you unnecessary fees. Agents who are looking for 100% commission will not find a home at Incentive Connection Travel. You need to ask yourself, how does your business model make sense if you're willing to give away 100% commission? We want to make it clear, if you're not making an income, neither are we. Your success is our success. The second word would be caring. The word caring really hits home for an ICT agent. Caring takes on a few different aspects. The agent who cares about their business and its growth will find a home at ICT. Caring can mean continuing education, checking in on your clients, tracking their reservations from start to finish, making sure that clients are satisfied to ensure that you receive the client's future bookings and their referrals. Also, caring about the ICT community by participating in the ICT convention, also known as the Incentive Connection Travel Family Reunion. The community of agents that we've created by ICT will make you independent, but not alone. Our agents care about each other and have each other's backs. In the almost 30 years we've been in business, there have been a handful of times where an agent has had an emergency and has asked for help by our agent community, and they're willing to jump in when and where they can. Finally, resilient. We all know that the travel industry is in constant flux, and it has been for this year because of COVID. At ICT, the opportunities to solicit advice from the owners and agents of Incentive Connection Travel are abundant. And this is where you can learn about the best practices. We have our weekly agent meetings, our forums, and our face-to-face meetings. These all encourage our agents to be up to date and ready to bob and weave with the industry. There's a quote that I remember by Roy T. Bennett. What helps you persevere is your resilience and commitment.
Truer words have never been spoken. So what role do you anticipate the hosted agent will play in shaping the industry this year?
The hosted agent has had a vital role for the last 30 years, and they'll continue as employment at smaller agencies become more and more limited. Host agencies like ICT allow independent contractors the opportunity to stay in the business that they love without the huge expenses of owning a storefront. Also, people looking for a career change may decide that travel is what they need for that change. ICT allows the opportunity to learn as you go without the huge costs of being in an agency. You would take both experienced and inexperienced agents, as long as the inexperienced agencies are willing to self-study. They can attend their choice of numerous webinars that we offer throughout every week. They can decide which opportunities would best fit their business model. And we're also willing to help settle them into their new adventure by guiding them to get the information that they need to be successful.
I love that. It sounds like such a partnership. So that's great that you've built that. So 2021 and coming out of 2020 with COVID. So here's the COVID question. What pivots have you taken since COVID, and how is it shaping your vision for the rest of the year?
Well, COVID has given us quite a lull in business. So we've used that extra time to increase the opportunities for the agents to interact with the suppliers and learn about the opportunities that are available to them through those suppliers. This allows the agents to hit the road running when the industry recovers to increase their business prospects. We develop the weekly forums to interact with the owners and the other ICT agents. We like to share common ideas. We like to resolve problems and give them solutions. We're working together to focus on navigating this unique market and that will become the post-COVID reality. Yes, business has suffered. We look forward to coming out of this disaster stronger and more profitable than ever.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be a great year for travel. I know I'm itching to travel. So is there anything else you'd like to let us know about Incentive Connection Travel, or anything you can tell us that is coming up?
Yeah, our suppliers whom we have strong relationships, which also translates to higher volumes, are being generous with their specials and programs to benefit them and our agents. Unless this is fruitful for both sides, there's no win for either side. Obviously, these are private and proprietary, so I can't really go into them in this forum. But we have invested in our extra downtime and money, updating and adding to our technology, building for our ICT family of agents easier, quicker, and more profitable.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Robert, for being here. I look forward to 2021 and travel in general, and I look forward to connecting with you this year. And again, thank you for being here for Host Week 2021.
Thank you, April. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
I really resonate with Robert because I grew up in a travel agency. Oops. I really resonate with Robert's story because I grew up with a travel agency in my family too. So thanks, April and Robert, for filling us in on Incentive Connection Travel. Now, normally I like to chat a little more between hosts because that's what you do when you're stuck in the basement talking to yourself for days. But I see that we are running a little bit short on time, so I'm going to move us right along to our next host, Uniglobe Travel Center. So April, go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. April from Host Agency Reviews, celebrating Host Week 2021. I'm here with Summer Corbett, Sales and Marketing Director for Uniglobe Travel Center. Hello, Summer. How are you?
I am doing great. Nice to see you.
Pleasure. Super excited to have you here and celebrating Host Week with us. Thank you for being here. Right? So we have some fun questions. We have some COVID questions, and we have some specials to talk about. So let's jump right into it.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll start with the fun stuff.
Okay.
What movie or TV show best describes your company culture and why?
Yeah. So it's funny. This one I was thinking, I had like one initial thought that came right to me, and I kept trying to think like, well, maybe there's a better one. And I just kept coming back to this one. So I would say the show Cheers, because one, to be honest, you can find us and our network at the hotel bar at pretty much any event. So we do a lot of actual cheersing. But, I think kind of the tagline with that is everybody knows your name. And I always emphasize with our host agency that that's how it's going to feel. From Betsy, who is our VP, to the support. They know all of our agents by name. They know what they sell. They know about their dogs and their family. So it really is a really cool community. And we have people that have been with us, the barflies who have been with us for over 20 years. We love to bring in new people and kind of make them part of the group. And we're a really fun, like cheesy, happy family. And so I think Cheers sort of encompasses that pretty well.
I love that. I love that. And next time we are at a live event and we get to see each other in person, I will meet you at the bar.
Oh yeah. Well, our whole group will be there.
So, I mean, this is a great way into the next question, which is what makes your company unique?
Right. I mean, I would say, obviously I've kind of touched on it, but the community aspect is huge. It's always been big for us. We've never tried to be the biggest. We have tried to be the best, but we're very much about quality over quantity. And because of that, we're able to know everybody by name, and the agents get to know each other really well. Even during this time with new agents and our like private Facebook page, people feel like they know each other when they haven't even met yet. And so I think that because we place a lot of emphasis on high quality agents who aren't here just for a hobby, they might be being a travel agent part-time. It doesn't mean they're all full-time, but they take it seriously, and they want a host who takes them seriously and really helps. So I think the community is great, and then also the quality of agents. And we also have very little turnover, which I think says a lot about our host agency. We don't have a lot of people leaving unless they're retiring, or you have the people who come in and just realize it's not for them, and that's fine as well. But I think the fact that we have so many people that stay so long is huge. And I will say one more thing, just because it's a huge part of getting you into Uniglobe, which is our mentorship program called Mentor You. And that is, in my opinion, the most comprehensive hosted program for new agents, because it's 3 months of coaching. And even in that coaching, you're working with 2 coaches, 2 mentors every single week for 3 months. So we sort of instill that know your name community from the beginning, because you're getting to know your coaches on a personal level every single week. So I think those are some of the unique aspects of our host agency.
I love that. And I love that you touched upon the turnover rate, because that's something that's so important. And to know that people stay with you for a long amount of time is just so important, and just shows your integrity and what kind of company you are. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And actually, another thing that I think speaks well is just straight up math. So, if you look at what the sales are for a host as a whole, and you divide it by the amount of agents, we're always, if not the highest, one of the highest. And I think that says a lot about the quality of our agents, that they are high producing agents who are taking it seriously.
That's great. So let's stay on track with the travel agents.
Sure.
What 3 words best describes the travel agent that is ideal for your company? And then why those 3 words?
Yeah. So I would say a huge one is engaged. I know we're seeing a little bit of a theme here with being engaged in the community, but being engaged in your own community and with your clients in order to get clients from your community. And then being really engaged, like I'd mentioned before, our private Facebook page has become a huge resource for our agents, because that's where you can get, it's sort of like, I always call it the first line of defense. So especially if you're new, even if you're experienced, if you need a recommendation of a supplier or where to go, or if you're having an issue, that's a lot of times the first place our agents go. And you can tell the people who are really engaged on that tend to be the higher producers, the ones who are aren't struggling as much and really seeing a lot of advancement with their business. It's not one of those things where if you build it, they'll come. You have to do the work too. So we have the resources for you, but you have to reach out. You have to make the effort, and we're really sort of like tough love kind of host agency. Like, we don't sugarcoat things, and we'll tell you, like, you have to do the work too. We're here for you, but you have to reach out, use the resources, tell us what you need, and put the work in. So I think engagement in all of those areas is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I would say commitment is another one. And I struggle sometimes with explaining commitment to some people, especially who are new, because they think that means I've got to put in 40 hours a week. A lot of people who start this are part-time, or maybe they're retired and they don't want to put in 40 hours a week. That's the point. So when I say commitment, I don't mean it has to be full-time, but you have to be full throttle in that part-time that you're doing it. Mm-hmm. So I think one of the things that we've seen sort of be a hindrance to people is sort of losing momentum. So they get really excited. They're super pumped. They want to start their business. They go through the coaching, and then, life happens, of course. They kind of fall off the wagon. They lose their momentum, and then it just sort of trickles off. So really keeping that commitment to building your business and growing, I think, is huge as well. And then another sort of area that we emphasize is the sales piece. So I say sales savvy or sales willing, because not everybody's already sales savvy, but we need you to be willing to want to learn how to do sales, because everybody loves to book travel, right? That's why you get into it. Everybody loves travel. I know. So do I. But it doesn't matter how good you are at booking travel if you have no clients to book for, or you can't convince them that this is the right trip for them. So in our mentorship program, we don't just teach you how to book, we teach you how to run a business and handle your clients and get clients and sell those trips. So I would say really understanding that sales is a huge piece, and you need to be able to put yourself out there. And even if you're naturally introverted, you have to be a little bit extroverted and talk to people, and understanding that that's a huge piece of success, and it's not just a fun travel planning piece.
I love that. I think you explained all that really well and kind of hit some great key points there. So, it's 2021. We're still in COVID.
Right.
What role do you anticipate the hosted agent will play on the ongoing recovery for the industry?
I mean, I think a huge piece, mostly because hosted agents have such a larger support system. It creates a lower overhead, but they can still be engaged. They can do a lot of training through their host. There's also a lot more tools they have access to because of being with a consortia or being with a host. So, marketing tools. And I think we've seen with a lot of our agents who are with us, who are obviously hosted, even though there's not been a lot of bookings, they've taken this time to really kind of beef up their training and some of the things that they felt like maybe they didn't have time for before because there were so many bookings. I know that our hosted agents have done that because they have so many resources. So that's why I think hosted agents will probably lead the way, and there may become more and more hosted agents because I think it's a little bit hard to be completely independent when you see things like this happen and not have that lower overhead and support system.
Nice. Last COVID question, I promise. I know everybody's sick of hearing about it. What pivots have you taken during COVID, and how is that shaping your vision for this year?
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing that we did, everybody's doing virtual conferences now. We did ours in April. So, things kind of went to hell in a handbasket. Maybe March, I think people started realizing how serious it was. And early April, we had already put on a virtual conference. We were supposed to have it in June, but we were like, people are home. This was like the first kind of lockdown, like, let's take advantage. So we just tried to pivot as soon as possible. And through that, obviously people love in-person events, but we did discover some smaller virtual events that people responded really well to that we're going to now incorporate even when we can see each other again. One of the best things we did was sort of like a think tank. So our agents came on, we separated them into different tables, and they all had a question, like a problem to solve. And so they went into their little separate virtual rooms. They solved the problem together. They came back and kind of gave the results to everyone. So it was a way to sort of brainstorm with other people. And that's something that we can do throughout the year, even when we're meeting in person again. So we're adding some things like that. And we've also kind of put more of an emphasis on luxury training and even domestic partnerships. So, we added some RV companies as preferred suppliers. We were trying to find places that do dude ranches and road trips and national parks. So I think those are some of the main areas is we've just really beefed up luxury training, some domestic, and then also some more virtual events that we can sprinkle in that are not just, training webinars all the time.
Yeah, no, I love your pivot of more RVs and more parks and things that people at the time probably weren't doing, but
Right.
still wanted to travel. And it was a way to get them out. And what a great idea to be able to take that little extra step. And it's not all about the going overseas or hopping on a plane,
Right.
but it's also just about, getting out. So what a great pivot that was.
And also it's nice because I think not everyone always realizes how many amazing things are basically like in our backyard, right? In our country. So I think it made people think differently about what they could see, which I think just, for our country in general is nice to beef up the tourism here.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that idea. What a great idea. So lastly, let's get to the fun stuff. I hear you're offering a special for Host Week, so we'd love to hear about it.
So we have basically 3 programs. One for GDS agents, which is called the Pro program. One for Premier agents, which is experienced agents, already have a book of business, don't really need a lot of training, but non-GDS. So they're, leisure focused. And then we have, which I talked about before, our Mentor You program, which is our really robust coaching program for 3 months. So we're actually offering a special for each one of those programs. For the Pro and Premier program, it's just $49 to get started. So our initial fee is usually $199 for the Pro and $149 for the Premier program. And we're just offering it for $50, which basically covers the background check that we run. So it's, for us, we just want to make sure that some of those maybe independent people who realize they need a host, we just want them to kind of find a home without it being some sort of big financial commitment. And then for the mentorship program, which is normally $499, and that's for 3 months of coaching. So that covers your 3 months of coaching. We're going to take $100 off of that. So that's for $399. And that basically runs through the last Friday of this month, which I should have looked up what date that is, but the last Friday of January. So you can basically apply until the last Friday, and we can apply any of those promotions based on your experience level.
That's so generous, and I love that. I mean, those are some great offers, and especially it kind of hits the variety of people that may be looking right now. So thank you so much for offering that.
Yeah, and to claim it, so basically we do things a little bit differently in that we talk to every single agent on the phone. I actually talk to every single agent because we do have to make sure that you're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you. So if you want to take advantage of the special, basically just mention it to me on the phone because you'll be talking to me, and that's kind of part of the process to make sure that everything is a good fit.
I love that. Well, Summer, thank you so much for being here. I love everything you had to say. Uniglobe sounds like a fantastic place to work in the community.
We're super fun, I promise. If you want a fun place, just come hang out with us.
I love it. No, I'm excited. I really truly hope to be able to see you this year, maybe an actual event where we can see in person, right? And thank you again for being here and celebrating Host Week with us.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Thank you, Summer, and have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Summer. Well, it's official. We made it to Wednesday before we started bringing alcohol into the conversations with hosts. Not too shabby. Good job, April. So, and I can personally attest to the fact that Betsy and Summer are always at the hotel bars at events, but that's based only by me seeing them walking by, never stopping ever. All right, so next up is Independent by Flight Centre. Now, again, this is a Canadian-based host agency. So if you're in Canada, listen up. And if you're in the US, you also want to listen up because we interviewed Independent by Flight Centre's US-based company. It's their sister brand, Independent by Liberty Travel, on Monday. So if you didn't hear their interview, check out the Host Week 2021 playlist on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to Independent by Liberty Travel. With that, hit it, April.
Hello, everyone. Continuing on with Host Week 2021. I'm joined today by Heather Baker, Director of Acquisitions and Social Media from Independent by Flight Centre. Hello, Heather. How are you?
Great, April. How are you doing? Super excited to be here.
I'm great. Thank you so much. I know I'm so excited to have you. This is going to be great. We have some great questions and some fun stuff going on. So excited you could be here.
Me too. Me too. I'm very excited to answer your questions and to share information about Independent by Flight Centre with all your viewers.
Perfect. So let's hop right into it. First question, which everybody loves, and well, I should say it's a love-hate relationship with this question. A lot of people were just kind of like, I didn't know what to do, and I really had to think about it. And some people are like, I love this question. It really made me think. So first question is, what movie or TV show best describes your company culture and why?
I concur. I love this question. I saw that and I was like, that's not your typical first question out of the box. And like you said, it really got me thinking. And I have to be honest, yeah, like it did get me thinking. And the one that we sort of that was sort of agreed upon throughout all of our team was Saturday Night Live. We think, you know, when it comes to Flight Centre, like Independent by Flight Centre, iconic brand. It's a name that's recognized globally, but we're made up of all of these unique, diverse people that bring their own skill set, their own talents, their own views, and make something that is great even better. And just like the brand SNL, we do take our business seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously.
I love that. I was wondering, I'm like, ooh, how is she going to connect this? I love that answer.
Well, I hope it meets your standards. Like I said, it was a great one that really got us thinking.
And so kind of transitioning into the next question, which is perfect because you actually already used the word unique. What makes your company unique?
There's several different things. Like our culture is something that we've always been very proud of. Our people and our desire to win. You know, essentially, we're made up of a group of passionate individuals, and the core message for our brand has always been to open the world for those that want to see it. We believe that, travel changes people on a fundamental level. And we know that it affects the lives of so many people, whether it's the people that are doing the booking of the trips, whether it's the people that are taking the trips, or the people that you meet along the way. We sort of live vicariously through our customers, sharing their experiences, getting excited with them. And we know that the actions that we have, the suggestions that we make, and, eventually the trips that we end up booking are going to change people's lives.
I love that. I love that you didn't just focus in on the company, but also the people that you work for and your clients. And what a great answer, and incorporating them in that. That was wonderful. So we're celebrating the hosted travel agent this week. So what 3 words describes the travel agent that is ideal for your company? And then why those 3 words?
Well, I would say someone who's positive, someone who's passionate, and at the core of their being, someone who's a traveler. We are made up of an amazing group of people that are really passionate, not only about the industry, but about travel itself, and about bringing the best service, the best experiences to their clients. They, again, are passionate and driven to sort of excel and to surpass their clients' expectations. Um, it can always be challenging to, find the best way forward, especially when times are tough, as we look back at this past year. So someone who's positive is always an amazing asset, because everyone has their up days and their down days. So our one of the things that our independent contractors have been fabulous over this past year is that if someone's sort of having a down day, one of their colleagues, one of their partners, like, reaches out to them and helps, sort of lift them back up, because we all know it can be so easy to sort of get in that downward spiral and not break out of it. And our independent contractors have just been phenomenal. Like, we know we're all human. We aren't always, the silver lining, or the glass is always half full, and it's perfectly fine to sort of have those one down day, but it's how you respond to that and then lift yourself back up out of it, that it is. And then again, at the core, travelers. We want people that love to travel, love to explore, that love to share their experience with people that are also looking to travel. We look at Wanderlust as a real added benefit for people that want to join the company. We encourage our independent contractors to travel as much as they are able, to have those experiences that sort of change them for the better, that teach them about, different parts of the world, and so that they can share those experiences, those cultures, that expertise with their clients.
I love the community spirit that you're building at Independent by Flight Center. That sounds amazing.
We were quite proud of it. It's definitely one of the cornerstones of our organization.
Nice. So unfortunately, we're going to have a couple COVID questions, but I promise we'll end it on a good note. So what role do you anticipate the hosted travel agent will play in the ongoing industry recovery?
No doubt that they are going to be vital for it. This, pandemic and COVID has, wrought our industry with sort of change. Many companies' landscapes have been changed, for the foreseeable future, if not, in the ability to have flexible work, to be able to work from home, to be able to, sort of balance your work life and your home life, I think will be, extremely advantageous and extremely desirable for a lot of people. And the fact that they are all entrepreneurs, they're all their own small business owners, I think is going to be, especially important in rebuilding our industry. They all have a vested interest. It's not, it's very personal to them. Like, this is how they make their livelihoods. And again, going back to one of your other questions, it's their passion for the industry, the passion for this business, the passion for travel itself, and for the services that they provide to their clients that are going to be fundamental in rebuilding the industry back to what it was before. I know a lot of people have probably used this saying, and it's one that we have used several times at Independent by Flight Center. But we honestly believe it's true, and that the comeback is stronger than the setback. And just in conversations with people, in watching any news updates or talking to people miss travel. They miss being able to, explore this world, to be able to take a place to unwind. And, those independent contractors that are with us that have been looking after their clients, staying in touch through this whole pandemic, just reaching out and touching base with them and checking in on them, to make sure that they're okay, their families are okay. That's how they build relationships and they build bridges. And I think that they're going to be so vital to any sort of travel in the post-pandemic landscape.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I absolutely think that travel is going to come back in stronger than ever, to be quite honest. So it's exciting.
100%.
Yeah. So what pivots have you taken since COVID, and how is that shaping your vision for 2021?
Well, again, it's given us a lot of time to sort of look and reflect on things that we've been looking at changing in the past. And, we may have had a long-term, sort of goal that we were aiming towards. Obviously, the pause in travel and in the industry has allowed us to accelerate a lot of our plans and reflect on what the systems and the processes that we have in place are, and, how we're going to work moving forward and how we can improve those and make it even easier and more efficient for our independent contractors. We're going to be focusing on systems that will allow our independent contractors access to even more better products, better booking systems. We're currently working on more ways for the independent contractor to develop their skills, like as entrepreneurs and business owners, as well as offering some courses specifically geared towards that. Coming in the new year will be a vetted lead process for a lot of our independent contractors. And I think that, 2021 is going to be an exciting year. Like it's going to be a year of preparation, I think, as we roll out all the things that we've been working on as independent contractors, finish off any courses and, specializations that they've been working on. And it's going to prepare us for the subsequent years to come, and like you said, when travel's back, there's that pent up need, and people are just they're waiting to scratch that itch. They can't wait. When you talk to everybody, the one thing that they're sort of tired of is looking at these, same four walls, and they're like, oh my God, I miss a beach, or, I miss visiting my family in the UK, or, I don't even want, the new gadget or whatever it is. Like, next year, instead of doing Christmas gift exchanges, we want to go away together, like as, a big extended family, and sort of really focus on those experiences and those memories and all those things that, that have been sort of highlighted that everyone values and maybe in the past have taken for granted because it's been so easy for us to, access. And now the fact that, we've sort of been cut off from close friends or, family and extended family, that, as we are moving towards that goal with the vaccinations coming in, and as we get closer and closer to that people are going to be so excited to, really get out there, explore, see everything that this world has to offer, and really focus on making those unforgettable memories with the ones that they love.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. And I love the fact that you took this time to really invest in your travel advisors, in their future. So when travel does come back, they're ready. They're going to be right there and ready to go. So that's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they've invested in us by, choosing to partner with us for their travel business. And so we're 100% committed to investing back in them and helping them grow their businesses to new heights.
Yeah, what a great thing. So let's put COVID behind us and get right into the good stuff, right? If it was only that easy. But let's get into the good stuff. So I do hear you have a deal that you're offering for Host Week. So why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So our current offer that we're doing is that if you're looking to come over to Independent by Flight Center, we are waiving the fees for your first 6 months,
Wow.
and as long as you sign up by March 1st.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. And we do have your deal on our blog, so people can go there and see it right there, which is fantastic. And I mean, that's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. What a great
Oh,
deal.
well, you know what? We're super excited. We've, been seeing people come over even in just the past few months, like ones that have always had a passion for travel, have,
Mhm.
thought about it, or maybe perhaps, the circumstances of the pandemic have, ended another career that they were working on, and, they're taking this opportunity to sort of reassess and choose something that, sort of fills them with joy and that they've always wanted to explore. So we're
No,
really excited.
oh, me too. This is great. Well, thank you so much, Heather, for being here and celebrating Host Week with us. We look forward to 2021 with you. And for everybody watching, make sure to head over to the blog. You'll be able to see their deal. And you can head over to our website also and find Independent by Flight Center right on our website and learn more about them and ask questions if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Heather, for being here.
Oh, well, thanks for having us, April. It's been fantastic.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Well, that generous Host Week special from Independent by Flight Center is totally the way to wrap up this section. So thank you, Heather. By the way, just an update on my cold weather crisis. Heated clothing is wonderful, but it's like temperature extremes. You get too hot, now I'm too cold. So I'm just not so sure about this heated clothing thing. But anyhow, moving on from that, I had a really great time hearing about everyone's programs, especially today, because I love the diversity and creativity of the TV shows that best fit their company. So just to recap, we had Chad said Outside Agents is MASH. Incentive Connection Travel, Robert said it was All in the Family. Uniglobe Travel Center, I'm hoping I'm remembering these correctly. Uniglobe Travel Center, I remember theirs because I had a really good visual on that, was Cheers, which I think is great. And Independent by Liberty was Saturday Night Live, which is also so much fun to think about. So this wraps up our host week section for today, where we're getting to know the host agencies, but we will be back again tomorrow with more host agencies. And I have a surprise for you. So normally we chat with 4 host agencies in this segment, but tomorrow there's 5, not 10, 5, sorry. Giving mixed messages there with my hands. So join us tomorrow at 12:45 Central Time, and join us as we chat with Travel Quest Network, Maddie K Travel, Kinship Vacations, Plaza Travel, and Cruise Planners. And next in our lineup is our Supplier Love section, which will make you feel like a big, warm, fuzzy bear just gave you a hug, or that you're wearing heated clothing, either or. Essentially, it's going to be suppliers saying how much they appreciate you. So stick around to hear from AIG, Delta Vacations, and Trafalgar. And just to let you know, you can let this stream in the background because we play some fun music that will cue you that the next segment will start in about 30 seconds. So you can just leave this running in the background. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back to another spectacular segment of Host Week. This is your daily dose of ego inflating. That's right, it's time for your Supplier Love section, where suppliers that are big supporters of the hosted community let you know how much they love you. So this is our last segment of the day before our closing, but just a reminder, we'll be back again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Time, so mark your calendars. And if you've just discovered Host Week, we're ecstatic about that, and we want to make sure you don't miss out on tomorrow. So go ahead and sign up for our daily Host Week emails with direct links to the recordings of the previous day's live stream. All you need to do is go to har.news/hostweek and register for the event. Our first supplier today is Delta Vacations. So let's see what they've got to say, shall we?
On behalf of all of us at Delta Vacations, we are wishing you the best and thank you for your continued partnership, support, your loyalty. We definitely look forward to a strong year ahead as the industry rebounds and the strength of our partnership carrying us both forward, and in many cases also our friendship. I've been working in my home office here for the most of this year, but for many of you that is your normal day. You've built your office, your home business. And you might have been part of the beginning group that really started this model that many are looking at today. You took that entrepreneurial spirit, you found your clients, you did your marketing, you built your database and built that business from the ground up that made you succeed. And that's going to be what helps keep you carrying forward. And we look forward to supporting that. Here at Delta Vacations, we definitely recognize the efforts that it takes and want to be in sales, service, and support all of the key areas of what you need to help out, not only for yourself, your peers, but also your host. Our support for you is unwavering and for your host, and we look forward to that brighter days ahead. And as we see that light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccine on the horizon, we are very appreciative and thoughtful of how we can continue to support you rebuilding the business, because you're going to be key. Not only are you going to be rebooking or planning new trips, but you're also going to be instilling the confidence in travel. And Delta's really stepped forward with that as well with the Delta Care Standard. So I hope you've been able to see it. Maybe you've had a chance to experience it. And that is the standards that your clients can expect whenever they're traveling. And Delta Vacations has also taken that standard to the ground whenever your clients land in destination. So I hope you've seen all of that. If you don't have that information or if you need any, our BDM team is always available for you. And all of our key hosts, which means then all of you, have a dedicated business development manager. We're here for you, in support of you, and we want to know you. We want to know where you are. We want to know what we can do to help you out. So please make sure, if we're not talking already, reach out to us. We appreciate all that partnership over the last several years. It's all of us together going forward, arm in arm. And we wish you all the best this holiday season with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Enjoy, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you so much, Delta Vacations. As I was totally distracted because David must have a really, really nice phone or some camera equipment because it just looked really, really nice. Great lighting. Excellent job. You're not in a basement, a dark basement. Well done. So our next supplier that's going to give us some love is AIG. Now we have Scott Adamski, which this is a little background story on how I know Scott. So Scott and I were in DC together for ASTA's Legislative Day, and we ended up sharing a cab ride back, but in the back seat there was 4 of us squished back there, 4 grown adults, and we got caught in DC traffic. So by the time we actually got to the hotel, poor Scott, who I was sitting next to, had like imprints from the locking mechanism and from the shoulder or the elbow rest thing on the car. So Scott and I are very close. So why don't you go ahead and let us know what you have to say, Scott.
Good morning, hosted agency partners. I'm Scott Adamski, head of field sales and licensing at AIG Travel. I'm standing in my backyard in 8-degree Wisconsin weather to emphasize how committed we are to the independent contractor. As we start to move out of the pandemic and into 2021, advisors will be critical to the relaunch of travel. You are that important. U.S. travelers saw the advantages of working with an advisor after COVID. Those who worked with an advisor received fast professional services. Those that did not, well, it was chaotic and frustrating. I believe travelers see the value you bring to their vacation dreams. As we all navigate travel in 2021, I also believe that travelers will not only value you, but will also see the value of travel insurance. Travel insurance will be that important to them. Thank you again for all that you do for your customers. We appreciate your business and look forward to working with you in 2021 and beyond. Stay safe and be ready for the travel surge to come. Thank you.
Scott, I think we all heard his message loud and clear. That's right. He needs some heated clothing. That's exactly what I was thinking. Fellow Midwesterner, you need to get some heated clothing, Scott. All right, next on our docket, we have Trafalgar. So I'm going to turn it over to Trafalgar.
Hello, Katie Ledwig here, one of your local representatives for Trafalgar. Just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for everything that you do to support and recommend our brands. Without our travel advisors, we couldn't do it without you and be as successful as we are today. Moving forward into this new normal, we know that our hosted agents are going to be super important because you guys know how to reduce those physical touch points. You already know how to work at home. It's a normal for you, and we know that you guys are going to be super important. So if there's anything that we can be doing for you, feel free to reach out anytime. And thanks once again for all of your support.
already be halfway through Host Week. Seems like just yesterday that we were all getting to know each other, right? So this is our first Host Week, as you know, and now that you've had a taste for it, the HAR team really wants to know what you think of it. So please go ahead. You can go ahead and give those cute hearts or claps, or if you're angry, you can give an angry face on Facebook, or you can just drop a line in the comments. We'd love to hear from you on what you found most helpful, what you'd like to see more of next year, or actually if you even like us to do this next year. So let us know if you have any suggestions for improving it. Because I'll tell you, I do have one suggestion that I would like to share, but since I'm not going to write in the comments, I'm just going to tell everyone. So I'm going to suggest and put into the team that we move me to a warmer floor next year, so I don't have to wear this heated clothing while I MC and I can look more professional. Yeah, great idea. But seriously, all comments are very, very welcome. We created Host Week for you. I mean, really, we created it for you. This was tons of work. No one was paying to be on here. So we want to know what we can do to improve it. By the way, when I'm looking at this, and does anyone else, when they're live stream, just really love to press like the heart button on Facebook to make the hearts go up? I can't help myself when I'm watching things and I like them, because I just love seeing the hearts flow up. It's like a little sea of hearts swirling around. So I love to see that. I love that so much. All right, so you have your homework for the day. And that's to tell us a little bit about what we can do better. So let's see what's in the pipeline for tomorrow. All right. So like every day, we open it up at 12 p.m. Central Time, and then we move into our keynote. And I'm so excited to let you know that tomorrow is Diane Petras, the president of the Travel Institute, and she's going to talk and she's going to give us some inspiration and give some ideas on how to communicate your value in 2021. After that is our supercharged Get to Know a Host segment. And like I said earlier, if you were on, normally we do 4 interviews during this section. But of course, we needed to add on the winner of our advertising package today, which is Kinship Vacations. So tomorrow you'll hear from 5 host agencies. Oh, I keep putting up 10, 5. So who are these hosts? It's going to be Travel Quest Network, Cruise Planners, Maddie K Travel, Kinship Vacations, and then Plaza Travel. So a super, super fun lineup. One reminder too, don't forget, if you are looking for a host agency, to do a little research on them ahead of time, the ones that I just named. So make sure to bring your questions, as the host will have reps in the comments to answer you ASAP. I know it's been fun to see all the comments and back and forth between the host agencies and people looking for a host. So once that's done and you've had your fill of hosts, tomorrow we're going to roll into the Supplier Love segment, where we'll have Apple Leisure Group Vacations, American Airlines Vacations, and Cost Saver. They're all going to regale you with love songs and how much they adore hosted agents. And that's it. So from the whole team at Host Agency Reviews, thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Time.